Hello everyone. Welcome to today's Creatrix Live here on Instagram, where we talk all things soul strategy, mindset, and embodiment for your purpose-based business so that you can birth that business, actually get it out there and get paid for your magic and medicine, right? Today we are talking about procrastination. And one of the number one reasons I see people procrastinating on taking action on their business. We're going to talk about what to do about that, how to get your brain and your body on board so that you can actually make progress on your biz goals and get paid for your magic and medicine, right?
Welcome. I'm Kelsey, soul embodiment coach and biz mentor, helping women soulpreneurs unleash their Creatrix CEO so they can build a business they love, express their magic and medicine, and live their version of happy, successful, and impactful.
So, why do we procrastinate? I think this is a nuanced conversation and there's a lot of reasons, but the number one reason I see is it's a mindset issue. So we're going to kind of unpack that today and talk about what we can do about it. So the mindset issue behind procrastination that I see the most is based on perfectionism. We are waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect moment, the perfect timing, right? We're waiting on perfect conditions before we take action so that we don't have any trade-offs, so that there's no kind of sacrifice or choice that we have to make, right? So for instance, like for me, this would manifest as, and I've held this manifest for a lot of clients when it comes to timing and fitting business goals and business tasks within our life and our current lifestyle, right? We want our business to perfectly fit into the life that we have, when in reality, if we are building a business and that business is at some point going to take over your 9-to-5 job or be your primary income maker, like your lifestyle is going to change. And so we're almost building the business to fit into the exact circumstances we have right now and not leaving room for it to grow or change. So this looks like for instance, as I said, that one of the ways this manifested for myself was, okay, well, I'm not like when I could have been chipping away at a project, let's say like when I created my course or when I created my group program, instead of chipping away at the videos and the course modules that I was creating on a weekly basis or a daily basis, I would like save all of this work for like a weekend where my husband went away or something, where my husband left town and I could have the house to myself, because then I wouldn't be interrupted and I would have all the time in the world. And right, I was waiting for those perfect conditions to take action instead of just chipping away at the thing. And guess what? It never worked out. In my mind, I was going to have the most magical weekend of creation and flow and perfection. And I always put more on my plate than I had time for, even though I was trying to create this perfect scenario. There's always unforeseen situations and circumstances. Like, we don't live or manifest in a vacuum. We can we can create situations and circumstances to the best of our ability, but there's always outside stuff. There's always unforeseen stuff. Like, the world is a big, busy place, right? And of course, yeah, things would happen. And then I would be in that, perfection mindset of it needs to be just right before I can take action. It needs to be just right before I can take action. And my brain being in that habitual thought process, there was always something that wasn't right. There was always something that wasn't quite perfect. And so I would sit down to record, but the lighting was off, or I would sit down to record and whatever, right? It ended up being that none of those weekends where I planned to just bust stuff out really worked for me. I had to get in the habit of taking imperfect action, you guys, taking action in imperfect situations, taking action that felt a little bit messy and not as perfect as I wanted it to be, and letting that be okay. And that was how I kind of deconditioned out of that habit, right? Out of that mindset, excuse me. building that different habit was what really anchored the mindset change. So, I feel like this isn't necessarily business related, but I feel like this way with finances too. I feel like this happens for a lot of people. Instead of chipping away at saving for something, like just tucking a few bucks back, every paycheck, it's like, oh, well, I'll wait for that bonus to come in and then I'll go buy the thing that I want or whatever, right? Or that's where my vacation funds will come from or whatever. And then the bonus comes and before you know it, like you've spent it on this, that, and the other thing, or you know what I mean? Just, it's this waiting for perfect conditions to take action and do the thing. And so much of business is about letting it be messy and letting yourself take imperfect action. Okay. So, that's the mindset piece here. The mindset shift is letting it be messy and letting yourself take imperfect action, because then you're actually chipping away at something over time instead of holding it off. And here's the thing, when we're holding it off for later, we're still holding space for that project or that task or that thing, whatever it is. That's energy expenditure. When you're holding space for that thing, there is mental and emotional energy that is going into that holding process, right? And so we're expending energy, but we're not getting anything, there's no return, and it's draining, right? And so it feels like you're mentally planning and you're mentally prepping for that moment, that perfect moment that you're waiting for. And all of that energy is being put there, but there's none of that return, and it ends up draining you over time. Whereas if we are taking that imperfect action, doing it little bit by little bit, creating more of that lifestyle kind of habit or change where we let ourselves take messy action, clean it up as we go, get better as we go, then all of that energy expenditure is actually serving us, right? There's actually a return because we're actually making progress on our goals and moving the needle on our business, right? So one of the ways I see this with clients that I've worked with is like in posting, for instance, just to give you some like tangibles. It's the working on a post, right? Like I have to wait for the perfect time to sit down and write my post. All the conditions have to be right. Like I can't have any distractions. I need all of these conditions to be met so that it feels good to sit down and write a post, right? And so we keep putting off writing the thing. Whereas like the clients who are really on board and ready to start letting it be messy, they're the ones that are like, yeah, I'm using Otter, which is like a transcription service, and I'm just like blabbing into the microphone every time I'm inspired. And then I just like copy and paste that and, copy and paste that thought and plug that out as my post with a pretty picture or whatever, right? They're the ones that are, while they're cooking dinner or doing laundry, are like putting notes on their phone and then sending that off on the internet and letting it be messy and letting it be imperfect and letting it feel almost like maybe not a complete thought. And that's okay. Like, especially in the beginning, we really just want to get good at taking that imperfect action and letting it be messy to reinforce the mindset that's okay, right? That's chipping away at the goal. You know what I mean? It is the action that truly transform the mindset. If we're waiting for the mindset or the belief to be perfect before we take action on it, we're doing it backwards, right? It really is taking the action that reinforces the mindset and the belief. My hair is being all crazy today. So another way we kind of see this procrastination with like posting specifically is we'll write something, we'll get something partially written, and then we go to post it and we start like editing it and we're like, oh, well, maybe I should say this different. Like maybe I should switch these sentences. And before you know it, you've spent 30 minutes like trying to edit something that was already great enough to be put out there. Excuse me, especially in the beginning when we were just practicing using our voice, our, brand voice, getting our message out into the world. We spend those 30 minutes or an hour editing something that could have been sent out into the world. And then we don't end up posting it, right? Because we're like, oh, well, now I got to be somewhere and it's not quite ready yet. And, it's not the perfect timing or situation. I don't feel 100% perfect about it. So I'm going to hold off until I am in full belief of this post being the post that blows up my business, right? So imperfect conditions, we're waiting for the perfect condition externally in a lot of ways, but also too for that perfect condition internally. And this is something I see in the industry spaces sometimes is don't post if you're not in the vibration, right? Or don't post if you're writing a post and you don't feel, 100% on board or stoked, or if you aren't 100% blissed out about the post you're writing, then people are going to feel that. Okay, that is such a nuanced conversation. There is some truth to pull apart there. If you are writing a post just to write a post, just to say that you wrote a post, maybe it's probably not going to be a post full of heart and excitement and joy. If you know what I mean? Maybe people are going to read into it and go, oh yeah, she wasn't super excited when she wrote this, right? But on the other hand, in the beginning of your business, when you are just working on being visible and being out there and letting yourself take messy and perfect action, where the goal is to be comfortable showing up imperfectly, right? And just practicing your brand voice and practicing your messaging and practicing saying the thing you want to say and practicing taking that imperfect action. Post the thing. Build the habit of not people pleasing or censoring so much or having it be perfect for it to work, right? That's the real goal there in the beginning. Now, I agree. Like I said, this is a nuanced conversation about posting when you're in the right vibration or the right mindset or whatever. But if you wrote the majority of that post in a place where you were feeling good, where you were feeling it, and then you go back when it's time to post it and you start editing it, it's that if you wrote it in a place where it felt great and you were like, yeah, this is awesome. Post you wrote that from that emotional state, right? Does that make sense? It's the secondary second guessing stuff that's going in to edit it and people please make it perfect and package it all pretty so that it looks right and does the thing it's supposed to do and blah, 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 blah. Post the thing. Don't even edit. Don't, if you have pre-made posts and you're going in to edit them every time you hit the publish button, just stop now. Stop editing. Don't reread it. Don't look over it. Let it be perfect or let it be imperfect. Let it be messy, right? Yeah. What else? Let me look at my notes here. Okay. So again, just to recap, this has to be short and sweet today, guys. The number one reason I see that we procrastinate in business, is because of this mindset of waiting for the perfect conditions. Again, whether that's an internal experience or an external experience, we're waiting for the perfect conditions to take action. The number one thing that is going to help you collapse time and move the needle on your business goals in a faster way is taking messy, imperfect action. It's letting it be messy and imperfect, letting it be experimental, letting it be part of a creative process, right? That's what's going to help you birth your business way more quickly because perfect literally doesn't exist, okay? So this is, again, external and internal. You can feel all kinds of ways. You don't have to feel perfect to post something or to create something. And you are a creatrix. You have so many tools and resources at your disposal to help your brain and body along. Even if you move from doubt to 1 degree more of self-trust or 1 degree more of self-pleasure so that you can take the action, that's awesome. That's amazing. right? We want it to be from, oh, I'm in doubt to I'm 100% blissed out. Any degree of movement there with you doing the best that you can with your resources, that's awesome, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 100%. You don't have to be 100% in trust 100% of the time for your business to work and for your action to work for you in your business, right? So letting it be messy, letting it be imperfect, letting yourself be in that sort of the discomfort of the creative experimental process is what is going to help you move the needle on your business goals, right? And again, it's taking the action that really enforces that mindset that it is okay for it to be imperfect and it to be messy. All right, I gotta go, you guys. That's what I have for you. Love you. Bye, 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 bye.
Thank you for watching, and remember, sharing is caring. If you found value in this video, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. As always, we love your feedback. Please share with us your biggest takeaways in the comments, and for more personal interaction, come join the Creatrix community over on Instagram.